Alexis Avila, guilty of abuse of a child resulting in great bodily harm, is charged in count 1, signed by the forepersons.
On January 7th, 2022, a security camera behind a shopping center in Hobbs, New Mexico captured a disturbing scene. A white car pulled up near a dumpster and an 18-year-old girl stepped out, holding a black trash bag. Without hesitation, she threw the bag into the dumpster and drove away. Hours passed as temperatures dropped, with no one realizing what lay inside. Then, 6 hours later, fate intervened. 3 individuals were scavenging through the dumpster when they heard what sounded like soft whimpers. They immediately tore open the trash bag and were stunned to find a tiny, cold, but still breathing baby wrapped in a towel, his umbilical cord still attached. The Good Samaritans quickly called 911, and emergency responders rushed the newborn to a nearby hospital. Doctors determined that although the baby had suffered from hypothermia, he was stable and would survive. Surveillance footage was reviewed, and authorities wasted no time tracking down the suspect, Alexis Avila.
Hopefully it's clear enough to where they can prosecute.
I hope so too.
Look what she does.
Oh no, just tosses it.
Look at that. Piece of shit. It's missing a hubcap on the car too.
Okay, so this is the other angle, obviously.
Yes, yeah.
It's missing the hubcap on that rear left, rear passenger, I'm sorry, driver's side, my bad.
Yep.
Within hours, police arrived at Avila's home. When confronted, she seemed emotionless and cooperative, quickly admitting to what she had done. In the interrogation room, she explained that she had no idea she was pregnant until the day before giving birth. She claimed she had felt stomach pains, went to the bathroom, and unexpectedly delivered a baby. Overwhelmed and panicked, she said she cut the umbilical cord, cleaned up, wrapped the baby in a towel, and drove around for a while before deciding to dispose of him in the dumpster, believing someone would find him. Investigators pressed her on why she hadn't sought help or left the baby at a hospital under New Mexico's safe haven law, which allows parents to legally surrender an infant at a designated safe place. Avila had no clear answer. Her calm demeanor during questioning, along with her decision to throw the newborn into the trash instead of leaving him somewhere safe, left investigators convinced that this was an intentional act of attempted murder.
You and I know what happened. I mean,
well, yeah, but like I can't tell you if you like. I'm not a very good explanation.
Okay, so obviously you gave birth to a child.
Right.
I'm trying to find out where it happened, how it happened, or what led to that, and stuff like that.
I went to sleep and then I woke up and I went to the restroom and I was just trying, and then it came out and I thought it was poop, and then it wasn't.
Okay. So you were where? And you're at your house?
Yeah, I was by myself.
You were by yourself?
Yes.
Okay. I mean that's not normal, right?
Right.
Okay, what happened after that?
I was in a panic. I didn't know what to do.
Okay.
I was scared.
Okay. What did you do after?
I cleaned myself, and I just left it where it was, and I was scared, and I was trying to call my mom, but I couldn't because I was so scared. I think she's gonna hate me.
Okay. What made you think that?
Just because I just turned 18. I haven't even been 18 for a month, and I'm the baby.
Right. I understand that's a lot to take, okay, and that's why I'm here, getting your side of the story. You were home alone, or who was?
No, I was by myself.
You were by yourself. Okay, and this happened where? In the restroom? Your restroom? Yeah. You guys have separate restrooms? Yeah.
No, there's one restroom.
There's one restroom. Okay. What did you do after the fact?
What do you
or
mean?
What happened? I mean, obviously.
Like I was just cleaning. I was scared. I didn't know what to do.
Okay.
And I just wrapped it in a towel.
Okay. Did you ever thought of contacting, an ambulance, a fire department, go out there and check you out?
I didn't do that. I was scared. I didn't know what to do.
Mm-hmm. Okay, scared of what exactly?
The baby. Like it was nowhere.
Right. But you're telling me that you knew yesterday, right?
Yeah, but I didn't know it was. I didn't know how, and I didn't know nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I knew, but I didn't know it was coming today.
Right. So it was unexpected.
Right.
You weren't expecting it to happen.
No.
Did you contact anybody?
No.
Okay. You said you didn't contact your mom?
No, I tried, but I couldn't. I was scared.
Mm-hmm. What did you do after the fact? I know. What time more or less was it? Do you remember? Do you recall?
Like 2:15 maybe, somewhere around that time.
Okay. That's when you dropped off the baby?
Somewhere, I believe so, yeah.
Okay. What did you do after the fact?
I drove around, continued to drive around.
Continue to drive around? To do what?
I don't know, just to clear to figure out what to do.
Okay. What else? I mean, where'd you go? Where'd you end up going? What did you do?
I ended up going to my house.
You ended up going to your house? What did you do after?
When I went to my house, I just sat on my bed and I was trying to figure out what I was supposed to do or what to do.
At any point, did you make anybody aware of it?
No, I was still in shock.
Okay. Nobody found out? Nobody knew about it? Okay. Were your parents back home at the time? You were home alone? Okay. Did you seek any medical attention or no? Did you think about, what could have happened or what, could end up happening to the baby?
Yeah.
Okay.
My mom said it was in Lubbock. Is it okay?
Okay. They'll be briefing me here as we go, so last I heard the baby's okay. Okay. So, did it ever cross your mind to let anybody know, contact law enforcement, go back?
I don't know.
Okay.
Because I'm still in shock the whole time. When my parents got home, they just didn't tell them I was still in shock. I was just in my room.
Avila was charged with attempted first-degree murder and child abuse resulting in great bodily harm. During her trial in April 2023, she took the stand in her own defense, claiming she had blacked out when she gave birth and panicked under the pressure of the unexpected situation. Her attorneys argued that she had undiagnosed mental health issues and lacked the emotional maturity to handle the crisis. However, prosecutors presented the security footage, police interrogation, and medical reports as evidence that her actions were deliberate. They pointed out that she did not leave the baby in a safe location, did not call for help, and showed no remorse during her arrest. The jury was shown disturbing footage of the baby's rescue, reinforcing the sheer cruelty of her decision. After deliberation, the jury found her guilty on both counts.
As to the crime of abuse of a child resulting in great bodily harm, a first-degree felony, I sentence you to 18 years followed by 2 years parole. I'm going to suspend 2 years. So you do 16 years in the Department of Corrections with credit for time served. You have 475 days pre-sentence confinement credit. While in the Department of Corrections, you will participate in complete course of cognitive behavior therapy, which will deal with some of your psychological problems. You'll complete a course on parenting skills, and you will participate in any vocational training or college classes during that period of time. I impose a mandatory $5 domestic violence treatment fee, $75 Crime Victims Reparation Act fee, $100 DNA fee. I do find that this is a serious violent offense, which means that your day's credit, the most you could get for good time would be 4 days per month. And I base that upon finding that this was a heinous crime. To toss one's own child into a dumpster like trash is something that it is an unforgivable event by any mother. Your child, I do agree, was very vulnerable, but for the grace of God and the happenstance of the 3 dumpster divers that found your child, we certainly would be here sentence you on a murder case as opposed to where you are. It's a miracle that in the cold weather of that night that your child survived. I do find that leaving the child in the dumpster and having hours to think about what you did indicates that it was a crime that you had an opportunity to correct after you thought about what you had done, but you did nothing.
On May 2023, Alexis Avila was sentenced to 16 years in prison, with 2 years suspended, leaving her to serve 14 years behind bars. In court, she finally expressed remorse, saying, "I regret that I deprived him of having a loving and caring family." But for many, her words came too late. The judge made it clear that her actions nearly resulted in the baby's death, stating that this case was one of the most shocking instances of child abandonment he had ever seen. The case sparked outrage and widespread discussions about teenage pregnancy, mental health, and the need for better awareness of safe haven laws. Many people questioned whether Avila's sentence was too lenient, while others believed she was a scared teenager who had made a terrible mistake.
I regret that I had to miss out on every first milestone the baby had and that I deprived him of motherly love. I regret that his first hours of life were traumatic, and I regret that he will always have this in the back of his head.
What do you do other than lay in bed?
That's about it. A couple of times I would get up to use the restroom, or try to, but I would just go back to bed.
Okay, when you say you would get up to try to use the restroom, what was going on with you at that time?
I just felt like I really needed to go to the restroom. I felt really constipated, which is nothing unusual.
So you felt constipation before?
Yes.
So you know what that felt like? And you believe that's what was going on?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you do anything to resolve what felt like constipation?
Not during the morning. There was a time, I wouldn't be able to tell you the time, where my dad did take me some kind of pill. I don't know what it was. It was some kind of constipation pill. And I took that and I went right back to sleep.
Okay. So you go right back to sleep, and then what's the next thing that happened?
I woke up and I used the restroom. Well, my dad was actually there when I woke up after taking the pill. He was only there for a short amount of time. He did probably his insulin or something, used the restroom and left. And then when he when he got out the restroom to leave, that's when I went into the restroom.
Okay. So this time around when you went to the restroom, what happened?
I delivered a baby.
How did that happen?
I don't remember. I just remember sitting there. And then the baby was on the toilet or on the floor. I don't remember.
You don't remember if he was in the toilet bowl or on the floor? So, what were you thinking in that moment?
I was in shock. Like, how could this happen?
So what did you do?
I don't remember.
What was the next thing that you remember?
I think when me and my mom went to the police station to go to the hospital.
Alexis Avila, guilty of abuse of a child resulting in great bodily harm, is charged in count 1, signed by the forepersons.
The story of Alexis Avila is one of tragedy, recklessness, and a near-fatal act that could have easily ended in a much darker outcome. Had those good Samaritans not been searching through the dumpster at that exact moment, this case could have turned into an unsolved murder. Instead, the baby survived, and Avila was held accountable for her actions. Her case serves as a chilling reminder of the consequences of desperation, ignorance, and the critical importance of seeking help in times of crisis.